Make the ground shake.
Hello everyone and welcome to another tank review. This time we are going to look at the tier 7 American heavy tank, the T29, i.e. the daddy of tier 7. Now on paper this thing doesn't really look all that great. It has mediocre gun at best. It has woeful DPM for the alpha damage it has. The hull is utter trash, but never before has any tank in the game had such a strong point on a tank like this thing. I mean, the turret on it is nothing to mess with really. As we look into the armor, you can see that it is the gun mantlet itself is around 280 millimeters thick. Nothing you will meet really can get through this unless it is a tier 9 TD and is firing a PCR at you, but that is only around the gun. To the sides it gets even thicker, as you can see, around 700. Around the gun mantlet it is getting quite weak, around 250, but even then, who has 250 penetration at tier 7? Above the gun it is pretty weak at only 200 millimeters of pen, so tier 8s and 9s can shoot you here unless you are careful. The obvious weak spot is the turret hatch at only 102 millimeters on some part, to 80 even at 27. So if you have around 170 pen, you should have no problems really to pen through this. The turret roof is pretty weak. I don't know why. 120 millimeter guns or a high caliber can overmatch this, so that means that this is an easy penetration for anyone that is knowing what they're doing. But then again, at tier 7, who has any idea of that? And these zones here aren't a part of the hitbox, they just count as spaced armor, so if you shoot at them nothing will happen. The hull is utter trash. As you can see, at best it is around what, 150, so that is even on the upper plate. On the lower it is even worse, so unless you are hull down you are gonna get wrecked by pretty much anything you will meet really. So that really defies the playstyle of the T29. Go hull down and abuse the turret. If you look into the soft stats, I will compare to the IS because it is those two are, to my opinion, the strongest of the tier. The penetration is quite a bit better at around 25, but the alpha damage is quite low at only 320 compared to the IS's 390. The DPM, even though it has a lower alpha damage, it has a lot worse DPM, and that is the key weaknesses of the T29. The reload time, as you can see, not even a second better than the IS, and this thing has a lot lower alpha damage. The rate of fire, pretty horrible. The ammo count is really key on this thing. I mean, you can really carry games. 63 shells is nothing to mess about. The view range, 380, one of the best at the tier. Put optics on this and you can really dominate the battlefield. The accuracy 0.42, better than the IS, but nothing special. You cannot snipe with this gun. The aim time 2.3 seconds, really good, and it feels good. but the soft stats, as you can see, are a lot worse than the IS, even though that gun is a lot more derpier. The elevation plus 15 is a sort of a weak spot on it, sort of a weak side of the T29, but it is enough. The gun depression at -10, one of the best of the tier, a classical American gun depression, and you can really abuse it to a degree. I mean, combined with the great turret, it is really not that hard. The turret traverse and the hull traverse are pretty bad, but combined, I mean that anything apart from light tanks cannot really outtrace you. The horsepower to ton pretty weak, only 12.4, and combined with these soft stats, this thing really doesn't accelerate all that well, unlike the IS, for instance. The top speed of 35 is reachable, and it means that you can waddle about on the battlefield. And the health points at 1250 are pretty standard for a tier 7 vehicle. For equipment, I would go rammer, just to get the reload time that much better. For the second slot, a vertical stabilizer, a key feature on this tank. Not a lot of tier 7s can mount it. This can, and you should do it without even asking. And for the third slot, either vents or optics. I've gone for optics. I've tried this setup for the first time. I put in optics on a heavy, and it works. I mean, you can really spot for yourself. I mean, you do not do this to spot for your team and have incredible amounts of assistance damage. You do this to spot for yourself and not rely on your team, because at tier 7 there are a lot of newbies who do not know what they're doing. For consumables, you can go with cola if it suits your boat, but I did get set on fire a few times, so I would go with fire extinguisher, small repair kit, and small med kit. For the crew skills, as always, brothers in arms helps. Repairs are a must. For the commander, go with 6 Sense. For the gunner, Deadeye or Snapshot. I've gone with Snapshot myself. For the driver, off-road driving or smooth ride, I would prefer off-road driving. For the radio operator, situational awareness. You have 2 loaders on this tank, so one should get safe storage and the other should get adrenaline rush just in those key moments when you are on low HP and you want to just pump out shots as fast as you can. I think this was enough for rambling over spreadsheets, and let's get into some battles. And off we go with the first game. It's an encounter battle on El Haluf, a pretty solid matchup, only 3 tier 7s on each side and 4 tier 6s, and the rest are tier 5, and the matchmaking couldn't really get any better than this, if I'm honest. Now I'm moving up to a pretty solid hull down position for my tank. The mobility of the T29 is a drawback, as I said, so if I got spot hit here earlier, I might have get shot in the side. I do take care of the Panzer 38 NA on the move, and thus helping our looks. I am now moving up. You can see the mobility of this thing, only 13 kph going up slopes, not the best if I'm honest, but it's alright. It's you can manage with it. I do spot this uh, AMX M4, and now I will try to go into town on him. He has a much higher DPM, but I'm in a much greater position than him. The thing that he is using doesn't really have gun depression to the side, and that was why he was unable to shoot my hull and only shot my turret. Now I do not want to get shot in the side by those guys, but seeing them that they are now pulling back, I will try to put another shot into the AMX. He shoots the ground. The KV-1 is on my side, but I try to ignore him just to finish this AMX, and and that was a full HP tier 7 heavy without losing one hit point. I am now trying to move up and get this KV-1. He is on a quite a high health, so I won't be able to finish him in one shot. But since he is slowed, there is nothing he can do, and I just finish him off. Already up to 1.8k damage with this thing, and 3 kills, and I am now trying to move up. There are quite a few tanks on this flank, so I will try to deal with them as fast as I can. Do put a side shot into the Tiger P. He manages to bounce, which is great news for me. The KV-85 shoots, but I will try to focus down this toaster. I cannot pronounce its full name, really. And I somehow bounce on a tier 5 heavy for some reason. But then again, I cannot complain either with those roll. I mean, 368 roll on a Tiger P is nothing to mess about from this gun, because it has only 320 alpha. A bounce another shot on the K1. That guy is really lucky. Do get shot in my track by my teammate, which is kinda sad. The KV-85 is in a pretty good position. I do get shot by the KV-1 and the KV-85, and the KV-1 actually armor X me. I believe it or not, that lucky guy, he shouldn't be alive, but still. I killed the KV-85, 5 kills, 3.2k damage done. The Tiger P does take out the KV-1, and I do put a shot into this OI experimental. The T29 and the VK are on this flank now. The toaster gets taken out by the Tiger P, and I try to put a shot into the VK, but the shot goes low. Now I will ignore the VK. He is not much of a threat. The T29 is a much greater threat. Me and the Tiger P are now going into town on him, and I tried to track him, but he moved forward, and I just shot him in the ass. The Tiger P does take him out right there, and I do put a shot into the VK, low roll quite a bit, and the Sherman 3 takes him out. Already up to 4.5k damage, 5 kills, 1 away from a top gun. The Tiger P now invites me to the platoon, and since he has 3 kills, why not? I mean, we will get a free brothers in arms, which will get us more experience, I think. Now I do move up right here to try to take out the Type T34 to get my top gun, but will I be able to? I don't know. He might go to another flank. I do spot this MX-12T. He is nowhere to be seen. The Sherman 3 takes out the Type T34 because he had the derp gun. I do move up at this point, and I will speed it up because there is no point of just staying here and watching this thing go around the battlefield. Now I am begging my team to stop the cap because I want to get that top gun, if I'm honest. And with only 5 seconds to go, I highly doubt that I will. The VK, since he moved out from that side, the type has to be here, and there he is. Will I get the shot of a time? And yes, yes I do. Let's get into the post-battle result. Here are the post-battle results of that very quick game, so to say. As you can see, I managed to pick up a stanker, first class in Adam's medal. I think that is for a certain number of won battles that you have survived. I think it was around 5,000. From the Battle Hero medals, I've picked up Top Gun, High Caliber, and Brothers in Arms, because why not? From the team score, we can see that we did finish top on experience, damage, and kills by quite a bit, with 1,646 base experience, 6 kills, and 4.6k damage, which is by far the most from my team. As I said, I've platooned up with the Tiger P just so I can get a free Brothers in Arms. He played a solid game as well, cannot deny that. If you look into the detailed report, we can see that we did fire 20 shots, 19 hit and 17 penetrated. Some unlucky shots on the KV1, I think, was one of them. But all in all, the gun performed pretty solid. We did do 4.6k damage, as I said, and only one shot was from a sniping distance. We did receive 9 hits, 3 pen, and 6 non-penetrations with 1050 damage blocked by armor. We did spot 3 vehicles, did damaged 11 and destroyed 6 with 216 assistance damage. I think that was enough for this game. Let's get into the second one. And here we are in the second game. It's El Haluf. Again, a bit of a deja vu, so to say, but this time the matchmaking isn't in our favor with a tier 9 battle. Already 2 minutes have passed into the game, and that's because my game crashed, and until I restarted, my tank was stuck. So now I move up. In this matchup, as the one before, there is no artillery, which means that you can freely play the game as it is meant to be played. I did try to put a shot into the MX 1375 on the move, but this gun, as I said, it's not meant for that, so if I hit it would be pretty lucky. Already the scores are 1-3, and I will try to move up to take a shot into this Conqueror if I can. We trade. He commands on top by quite a bit, by 100, so I will have to be wary of that. I will try to use this position to abuse the turret as much as I can. I do spot the Conqueror once more, and I just move up. I do not want to get shot by him again for absolutely no reason. Plus, if we trade, he will come out on top once more, just because he has a much greater gun than mine, but then again, he is tier 9 and I'm only tier 7. This position could also work here, and you can see that I am playing passive at this point. I mean, I don't want to risk anything. I'm only at tier 7. I cannot push into their face uh, unless I use my turret, the this tank is quite easy to kill. The Conqueror moves up as well, but he is having none of that. I am waiting for one of these guys to make a move. Do try to put a shot into the Tiger, but it missed. I do have shots on the lower plate on the Yak Tiger. Put a shot into him. The lower plate isn't really all that well armored on the Tiger. I do put another shot in for free because he was on the reload, and now he is on 2-shot lever for me. He's shooting APCR and cannot even pen me, and that is a great trait of the T29. These two Tigers, the Tiger P and the Tiger 1, are pretty annoying, and I will have to wait for them. I cannot move up one aggressive push from either the Conqueror or the Yak Tiger and I will be dead. I will shoot once or twice and that will be it, because I am 2-shot for them, because that's the way tier 7 tanks are. I do move up at this point. I do see this T29 and I put a shot into him. This Conqueror is a hull down as well, as is the T29, but if we trade with the T29, if we can paint each other, I will certainly come out on top. Do have shots on this Conqueror. I do take my chances on the turret weak spot, but he is having none of it. I am trying to move up. The T29 shoots me in the turret once more, and at this point it's a stalemate, really, unless one of us makes a mistake. I do try to take these chancy shots, but to pen a Conqueror at that angle is quite impossible. The T29 shoots once more, and since the IS-6 and the IS-3 have moved up, I decide to do so. The T29 shoots my turret again and fails to pen again, and I just wiggle about and wait for him to shoot either my well-angled hull or the turret. I do put a shot into his lower plate and pull back once more, reload, and try to do the same again. The scores are 6-6 still, but we do have the positioning advantage. I do take out the T29 and decide to move up on this tier 7s right here, and believe it or not, this IS-6 is gonna be more of a help for the enemy than for me, because he could take a hit, but he just doesn't want to, really. I don't know why. Luckily the Tiger 1 misses. I am playing with the devil right here, no denying it. I mean, he could have stayed right there and took a shot, but no. Full health IS-6, no problem. I might die, he will still live on and do nothing really. I am now a clear one-shot for anything that will sneeze on me if it pens. Somehow that shot didn't go where it was aimed. I will try to put another shot into this Tiger 1. He somehow doesn't manage to shoot, I don't know why. And back to where we started, really. This Tiger P is now preoccupied with the T54 lightweight, and I do lose quite a bit of a time here with this corpse of the IS-3 as I try to make myself go around it. Only two enemy tanks left, the IS-3 and the Borsig. The Borsig is trying to take a shot. He moves up, I put a shot into him, a free shot, and we move up once more, and we are already up to 3.6k damage in a tier 9 game. I mean, how many tier uh, 7 tanks can even manage to do so? Apart from the IS, I cannot think of a tank really. But then again, I think that the T29 is slightly overpowered than it should be. Now, for the rest of the game, nothing will happen pretty much. I will shoot a low health IS-3 and that would be GG. Let's not waste any more time with it. And here are the post-battle results of the second game. It was a tier 9 matchup, a pretty hard tier 9 matchup, and we've only managed to pick up ace tanker with nothing more really. We were, I think, one shot away from a high caliber, but we didn't really manage to get it. If we look into the team score, we can see that we did finish top on experience and damage done with 3.7k damage done and 1.4 base experience, edging just a little bit in front of the T54 lightweight, but then again, he is a tier 8 light tank, which means that this was a pretty solid matchmaking for him, unlike myself. If you look into the detailed report, we can see that we did fire 20 shots, 17 hit and 13 pen. Have to say that a lot of the shots that I fired, there was no chance of it penning, just because it was shot at another hull down T29 and a hull down Conqueror, which isn't really things that you can easily pen, especially with this gun. Out of our 3.7k damage, 311 were from a sniping distance, that shot on the Borsig. We did fire 10 hits, 4 pen and 3 non-penetrations, with 1.7k damage blocked by armor. We did damage 7 vehicles and destroyed only 3. Anyway guys, that was my take on the T29, the daddy of tier 7, really. It has its place. It is very powerful if played right. It can dominate even tier 9 games, as you saw. Always go hull down, never expose the hull, and you'll do massive amounts of damage with it, surely. Hope you enjoyed this video, and bye for now.